Hello and welcome to another episode of the Jesus Podcast. My name is Jesus. I am your personal Jesus, even though my friend Chris, who I won't use any more of his names, he says it's blasphemous, but there would have to be, someone to be blasphemous too, I guess, is the way I kind of look at it. So I don't think it is. Let's take a look at my scruffy looking face. And there I am. Hello. Hello, world. Hello, world. How are we doing in this coronavirus? This is rant number Apat. I think I got that right. Let me just double check. Yes, Apat, which is Filipino for 5. I decided I would name these after a different language in every country. So who knows what 6 will be? Will it be Greek? Will it be Russian? Will it be Tibetan? We don't know. You'll definitely have to find out tomorrow. That's going to be one of the hooks. I guess I can do that for like 126 episodes. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe there's more languages than 126. Maybe I should probably Google that. Let's see if Google works. Okay, Google. How many languages are there in the world?
6,500. Here's a summary from Info, please. The answer. There are roughly 6,500 spoken languages in the world today. About 2,000 of those languages have fewer than 1,000 speakers. The most popular language in the world is Mandarin Chinese.
Because 1.2 billion people speak it. So, that would have to be the most popular, the most common language. I guess popular and common go hand in hand. I guess the common language would probably be English since it's the international business language, but I can be wrong. But I'm going to say that I'm right just because that's the world we live in, and it's right until I'm proven wrong, or until I deny the until I deny the truth, right? So this is the last of my cannabis, whatever might be in this little stick right here. Let's see if I can. That's as bad as clear as I can. There's a little bit in there. So I'm like puffing away at this because I've got nothing else. I need to get me some flour. I got used to paying farmers market prices, as I like to call them. And so I really don't want to go out and spend my money on what California thinks the pot industry should be like. It's all on the up and up on my end. I am not cheating California out of anything. It's just I belong to a club. That's all I gotta say. And but the club has not been open, so I have not been able to procure any of my flour, as they like to call it. So I'm down to this pen. This holds the last of any cannabinoids I have. I used these gummy edibles and put them into my tea for the past few mornings. So that's good. Probably saying to yourself, why are you sucking on this so often? Because I don't know. Because I don't know how long it's going to last. And I don't know. I just was because I wanted to get high. Because I was sober when I first started, propping everything together. But, I've realized I didn't quite have the creative juices flowing. And you might not think that cannabis will get those creative juices flowing, but it does. It really does. It's quite amazing. In fact, while I was doing that, I was just thinking into my head today is that to all my Catholic friends out there, or I guess to all my Christian friends out there, um, happy Good Friday, and I think it's funny that the Catholics found a way to take a human's you know um, what's word I'm looking for a human's scourging, beating, um, torture, if you will, uh, and along with killing in the most painful way the Romans could figure out how by hanging you on a cross. Leave it to the Catholics to say that was Good Friday. The most brutal killing in all of world history, and we call it Good Friday, or you guys call it Good Friday. I say we. When I say we, is because I grew up in the Catholic Church, but I am no longer affiliated. I believe with I believe in what the good book has to say. I just don't believe that um, it's all true, like some people do. Like some people believe it's like the Earth is only 6,000 years old, and then there's reality. So you got that going for you. Why? Now, don't get me wrong. I think there are historical things within the Bible. Um, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. Some of the things didn't happen. Like I totally am down with. What's said in there, what stories are told, but you have to look at them like if you just tell the story of you know Gilgamesh and the flood, and you know, like anything, everybody takes creative licensing. If the you know the New Testament didn't take creative licensing, I don't think we would have some of the stories that are currently in the Bible today. That we just Catholic Church had like a sort of looking for like a meeting, and they're like, hey, do you want this one in? No, that talks about too much power to the people. We got to keep them humble. We'll get the four guys who talk about the and that's kind of how it went. you know that is how the Bible was decided upon. How do we know this? Because we have the Gnostic Gospels, which are I think Gnostic meaning knowing or something like that. I could be wrong. I can look that up in Google, but why? That gives people a reason to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm all for my own ignorance. I mean, I'm well aware that I don't know what I don't know. But that doesn't mean I won't take an educated guess and willing to admit when I'm wrong. Because why shouldn't we admit when we're wrong? I think that's a problem in today's society. We want to be right so often that we're not listening to what people are saying, which is kind of the way things are. I'll just give you an example. I said to a friend today, I said, there's no way I could vote for Biden. You can't even put a sentence together. And the reply was, Trump's been that way the entire time. Yeah, I will admit Trump has stumbled on speeches, but I think that has more to do with the medication that he's on when it's wearing off and he's been up for a while. I mean, it's no secret that he is, on some form of methamphetamine by the medication that was seen in the drawer during a photo shoot. That type of medication, not sold in the United States. it does have quite a bit of amphetamine. I don't know what type of amphetamine, but I know there's amphetamine in it. And as a former meth addict, I am well aware of what happens when you come down after too much in the sleep. Yeah, when you've been up for days. I know what that's like. So I attribute to that. Now, don't get me wrong; he might have some mental decline, but he's gonna kick Biden's ass because I don't think Biden has any way of defending himself. To be honest with you, I think once Trump gets on the stage and once Trump becomes Trump, um, Joe Biden's just gonna look like it's gonna be sad. It really is. I feel horrible that the Democratic Party is having you know, this guy go through that. It's sad, really. It really is. I'm very disappointed in it. But that's what the Democratic establishment wanted because if we ask for Bernie, then their people who give them money won't be happy. I mean, I don't want to talk about it anymore. We have no Democratic Party. We have one party. We have an oligarch. We're an oligarchy. If you can't see this, we are no longer a democratic republic. We are an oligarchy. Why? Because big business is in power. And there is a donor class that is a part of that uh, big business class. And we just saw it just recently by them getting trillions of dollars. And, I can't even get a check for $1,200, lickety split. But, banks and airlines, they're all they're all being bailed out at the expense of us. But you guys don't seem to care, so why should I bring it up? Let's think of something like funny, like my hair. Like this is what hair looks like when you do your own. It's not quite even. I don't think it's even. I probably need to get in there with a pair of scissors or something. And as you can see, the showers are not on a daily basis anymore. Not that they were before, but don't get me wrong. I'm washing up. I'm just, I don't have anywhere to go. Look at this beard. I don't have anybody to impress or make feel important. I don't know. Whatever my job was before, which I think was professional butt kissing. You know, they call it hospitality. That's a fancy term for you're going to be a waiter, but you're not going to get any tips. Enjoy. By the way, we're paying you minimum wage, which is not state minimum wage or city. I mean, which is not city minimum wage because we're in a different city. Yay! Now you're probably saying to yourself, Jesus, well, Jesus, if you had more skills and you know what? I was handicapped a lot of my life because of my mental state being undiagnosed for a long period of time, and I did not get on the right medication. And you know, I have a lot of years of bad habits. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm changing that, but right when I'm getting into like something that I can actually make and call my own and start it from the beginning and boom, 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 coronavirus, man. And shit, it's a pain. Hold on, let me look at my time. I'm over. My brother's gonna be mad. He's not even gonna watch this. So let me just say this, okay? Things are gonna change. Things are gonna get better. Our economy is gonna suck for a while. That stock market is a fucking lie right now. We currently have, that we know of, 16 million people out of work. 16. That's going to be 20 million by next week. Okay, and 20 million. So let's look at it this way. During the last recession, we had less than a million people actively looking for work, or unemployed, according to the government. You know, not counting the people who have like completely dropped out, not even looking for work anymore. We're not counting those people. Just like they don't count like you know, rent and mortgage when they try and figure out where the poverty line's at. God forbid you include those. That would skew the everything way off if you had to include that. But let's not talk about that. I'm supposed to cut it off. I've already failed my brother. I failed him. Not only was I not entertaining, maybe slightly entertaining, but I didn't keep it under 10 minutes, and I gotta think about that because he's the audience I'm going for. That 50 to or that 45 to 55 range that likes to play board games and Dungeons and Dragons. That's my people. I love you guys. And I'm talking about politics. It's horrible. But anyway, I'm going to cut this short because my brother's right and he made me laugh yesterday and I'm still going too long. It's okay. It's going to be end. If I can pass along anything to you, it is fail. Everybody needs to fail because until you failed, you don't know what you can't do. You know what I mean? Like, what you can't do, you can start working towards what you can do. And it's okay to break the rules because we elevate those people who are the outliers, the ones who are on the extreme side, uh, uh, I mean, you can just name them, Edison, Einstein, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, um, the guys at Casio who came up with the computer on the watch, with the calculator on the watch. I mean, you know, that was very popular in the 80s. Those are the people we revere, the rule breakers. I mean, this country was founded on a bunch of guys who are like, oh, fuck these guys. We're not getting representation. We're not getting representation now, all right? And we fought a war over it. And I think there was even a smallpox epidemic going on at the same time. So, this coronavirus thing, yeah, it's a terrible thing. But we've been through worse. We've survived worse when we had less as a country. And we need to remember how resilient we are. And I think we forget about that. And I think we worry about things that we don't need to worry about. Coronavirus, we need to worry about it, but let's take precaution. Don't, if you're going to go outside, wear the gloves, wear the mask. You know, if you don't have a mask, make a mask out of something, out of a t-shirt, out of a scarf, anything. It's just to keep your breath droplets from spraying out everywhere. So that's it. That's all I got for today. Fail so you can fail better. Because that's all we're trying to do is like, if you can fail upwards, even better. People hate you for it, but at least you're going up, right? Okay. Thank you. And actually, I want to try something. Because I figure why not? So I am going to go on this thing right here, and I'm going to just type in 2 questions that people are asking Jesus on the internet these days. Now, I realize that I am not Jesus. I am just Jesus, or Jesus, or Zeus, or some people do call me Jesus. But let's see. How can we Okay, here's one. It says, Jesus, when will you return? I can handle this. Not coming back the same way that all people who die are all people from 2,000 years ago, all people from 150 years ago. They're all dead. Nobody's coming back. Nobody's coming to save you. That was a fairy tale told to people in under persecution during Roman times to give them faith. Even in those letters, they said that he would be back fairly quickly, if I remember. It said, like, in our lifetime. Well, that has passed, so that's it. And then it says, Jesus, when born. My personal birthday, September 20th. That's my birthday. So, yeah, that was when I was born. When I should ask this is me, not that guy. So, see, I want to get these right. So, when was I born? September 20th, 1970. So that was when I was born. And when will I return? Return to where? That's where I want to know. Like, where do you want me to return to? Do you want me to return to the store, return to your house, return to your kitchen, return to work, return to a job? Well, I guess work and job would be the same thing. So I need to know where I need to return to. If it's the Middle East, I've never been there, so I will need to go to before I can return from. So that's I need to know where to return. When will I return? So if you're my parents, I will return. If my mom was asking me that, I will return when you allow me to back in the house, because I don't think they're up for letting me in the house. They let me in the house previously, but I think that was a one-time deal during this time, because they're in their 70s, and I run around with a strange crowd. Let's see. Just when was I tempted? When was I tempted? I don't know. I was tempted to get a donut this morning, but I refused that temptation. I decided to make myself a bacon and avocado breakfast sandwich. Still think it needs more bacon, though. Not enough bacon. 3 strips of bacon, not enough. They were thick cut sliced bacon, so you would think they'd be spot on, but no. I definitely need more bacon. Because it has to do with the density of the bread, to be honest with you. It's pretty dense bread, so bacon kind of gets absorbed in it. You know what I'm talking about? I need a better meat to bread ratio. I could just put it all on one side, but and pile it up, which would probably be better, since I would be using all the avocado, all the bacon, and only having like 1 slice of bread instead of 2, because carbs are the enemy. And I've been carving it up lately, but I gotta stop. Alright, I gotta stop. Okay. Jesus, when you fast. So I'm trying fast for a 12 to 14 hour period every day. Now, don't get me wrong. I fail myself all the time. But in the past, where I would just say fuck it and just go back into my own thing, I just no, dude. Just stop where you're at, get back on the wagon, and let's do this thing. So I have not eaten since 4, so I'm not going to eat again until tomorrow when I wake up At around 5. I'm trying to wake up at 5 because, fun times. When you got nothing to do, I'm trying to get up, trying to get some exercise in, which, it's like push-ups, some arm work, just a body workout. I haven't got too intense with it because the shoulder killing me, although I think as I do some of these exercises, my shoulder is getting better because I feel like I'm working it without hurting it, which before in the past was trying to push through the pain, and I'm just like, letting the pain stop where I get the pain and then try and readjust when I don't have any pain. So it's right there, as you can see. Yeah. So yeah, so that's it. Let's see. Is there another? Let's see. Jesus, should I? Should be first in our lives? Nope. I don't need to be first in everybody's life. I just need to be first in, like a couple key people. Like I want to be first in my, like I want me to be first in my life because that's very important. And then, she who should not be named, I should be first in her life because I'm self-centered and egotistical. And Jesus shoulder wound with cross image. I have no images of me in a cross except maybe First Communion. There might be a cross in some photo somewhere with me in prayer beads. Not prayer beads. I'm sorry, a rosary. That's what they are, right? They're prayer beads. And I don't have any shoulder. I do have a shoulder wound, but it's not in pictures. My friend Tommy Santos, although when we got into college, something happened. Like I didn't know he liked to go. Anyway, it's a long story. Let's not get into it. But we were definitely not friends later on in life because of opening my mouth or something like that because of some girl named Shannon. Which, hey, how was I supposed to know, right? Anyway, back to he broke a vase in the 6th grade. I remember 6th grade because it was Sister Sheila who taught us, and she went off to Ireland after that. By the way, a great joke to tell a nun. What does a nun and 7-Up have in common? Never had it, never will. That was a slogan back in the day. And you kind of know what that double entendre means. But, so he broke this white vase. I don't know how he broke it. And then, like, he came up to me with glass in hand, glass shard in hand, started shaking my shoulder. And I don't remember which shoulder it's on. It's an old scar, but I've got a scar. I do have a scar, a wound on one of my shoulders right here from Tommy Santos cutting into me with a shard of broken vase. Interesting thing though, though I bled, like the blood ran all the way down my arm, no blood got on my white Catholic shirt, nor was the fabric cut from where Tommy was shaking me in his hand, shaking my shoulders in his hand with the glass shard. So, miracle? I have no idea. I was there, but I didn't get blood on him on my white shirt, and I got to wear it early on. I know we didn't get rid of it, so it did have a cut. I remember looking at it. I can't believe it's not cut. So there, I answered some questions people were asking Jesus. So now you've got your answers. People who were asking those questions, not from that Jesus, just from this, because I know, I'm not. I mean, when you look up there, you don't see anything anyway. So I don't know why we do that. It's just crazy. So anyway, everybody fail. So you know what not to do, all right? That's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm gonna stop streaming, and we're all gonna get through this. And I'm sure we're all gonna hug each other when all this is over. Cheers.